the time when you made niyat of going to Hajj, Allah has promised 70,000 angels circulating over your head and around you to protect you and keep on writing the Tawaf of Hajj beginning. So we are a blessed soul. Even now, so many thousands of malaika are just rotating around. Inshallah, you will be able to do this ahkam, which is an important ahkam. So, as you can see in the first slide here, when we start Hajj Tamattu, just to recall for those who might not be here last time, you remember we said Hajjul Islam is divided into two parts, Umrah Tamattu and Hajj Tamattu. And you can see from the folder you have, which is similar to this exact. In Umrah Tamattu there are 5 things: the ihram, the tawaf, 2 rakah salah of tawaf, the sa'i bayna safa marwa, and taqsir. And we talked about ihram, we talked about tawaf, we talked about the salah, sa'i, and taqsir. We'll remind ourselves again. After we finish Umrah Tamattu in Makkah, usually around 3rd of Zil Hajj, then we have a little respite, a few days, until the main Hajj Tamattu begins. And this is just to give you a geographical idea of where you are and what happens. Medina is more up on the north. So when we are praying in Medina, we are actually facing the south of Saudi Arabia, the south of the geography. So Medina is up there. That's Makkah. And then the journey goes, Arafah is the most distant point from Makkah. Approximately, depending on the roads and turns and things and changes nowadays, approximately from Makkah to Mina is about 14 kilometers. But depends, because there are now tunnels and things, and it may change. And from Mina to Muzdalifah is about 14 kilometers. And from Muzdalifah to Arafat is about 18 to 20 kilometers. So, people have gone walking all over, because it's over several days. But it's not necessary to walk. Okay? This will give you an idea that you are in Makkah, you are going to Mina, Muzdalifah, Arafat. So when you are coming out from Makkah to Mina, to Arafat, actually we are bypassing Mina and Muzdalifah and going to Arafat. You see that? And then from Arafat we are going back now towards the Haram. So we are going to Muzdalifah, then Mina, then back to Makkah. And as I said last time, now this mic is a... As I said last time, Hajj Tamattu, the second part, has got 7 components. You remember? The 7 components include ihram. From ihram, you go to Arafat. So this is the main pathway. You go to Arafat. So ihram requires 3 things: the 2 clothes for men and proper hijab for women. Okay? The two white clothes should be good enough to cover your knee and the navel and both the shoulders, two pieces. They should be white, they should be pak, they should be mubah, your property. They should not be perfumed, there should be no najasat in it, and preferably white. So, and the size of the cloth is, and it should not be stitched. And under the ihram, there should also be no stitched clothes. The cloth is symbolic. It's like kafan. You wear those clothes. Yes, I think different groups have different facilities, but I think Muhammad Jafar always provides. You don't have to. But it's better to buy one extra, just in case if it becomes najis on the way, then they cannot supply constantly every time. Okay? So better to have one extra. Yes. In Medina. Medina, well, when you are in Medina, you can buy. There are various sizes depending on, there are children sizes, there are big people sizes, there are all the sizes. So you can buy whatever you want. Okay. So ihram is two pieces of cloth, as I mentioned the requirement of that cloth. And then there is niyat. So when you do niyat, immediately you have to recite talbiyah. Once you wear the cloth and make niyyah and do talbiyah, then you are now a muhrim. Somebody who has pledged and given a vow that some things, even though they were halal before the ihram, have now become haram to you. For example, in our religion, in Islam, in the month of Ramadan, during daytime, you are not allowed to eat. Eating is normal thing. Eating is sunnah in some places. And sometimes it is wajib. If you are starving and your sugar has gone down, then you must eat. Eating and drinking is forbidden. Marital relation during daytime is forbidden. Telling lies and giving wrong ahadith in the state of fasting is forbidden. Taking out blood and vomiting and going into swimming with your head first down, and all those things become haram during fasting, right? Because you have given a pledge to Allah that you are fasting. Same way when you are putting the ihram, now you are pledging that here is an independent or dependent, majboor, very humble, insignificant human being in the state of ihram. So perfume, nice smelly food, boasting, telling lies, all those lustful things, as you can read from the list. For example, witnessing a nikah or getting a nikah recited, or your own spousal relation or other things, and uprooting or taking out blood, taking out hair, scratching and blood coming out from your body, and those things, as you can see, become haram. Looking at the mirror with intention of beautifying yourself, putting beautification like surma, henna, and things like that, all become haram. Okay? We'll go to detail of this, but now it is suffice to read these things. Most of these things which are lustful, the kafara is either a lamb or sheep or a cow or even a camel. But there are other things which are, I don't consider it minor, but other things according to fiqh Masael, the kafara is smaller, depending on your intention. So by mistake, if you look at the mirror by mistake, then you do istighfar, you recite talbiyah, and it's fine. That's your kafara. Okay? So the ihram of Hajj Tamattu, the miqat, as we said last time, miqat is the entry point. The miqat is the house. It is sunnat to do the ihram of Hajj Tamattu at Maqam Ibrahim. But it may be very logistically a problem for you to come out of the house from Al Jumaiza, where Muhammad Jafar has a house there rented, and then you go all the way to Haram near Maqam Ibrahim with these COVID restrictions of entry into the Haram. Yes or no, you lost your way and you are late and buses are waiting. Matatizo. Avoid that. Do your ihram in the hotel. So option number 1 is on the 9th night, where it is the night of the wafat of Hazrat Muslim ibn Aqil. For us it's easy to remember that way. So the 9th night we come out and go to Arafat in the state of ihram. Okay? You sleep in Arafat, you wake up in the morning, have your breakfast, salah, breakfast, everything. The wajib part of Arafat is, wukuf of Arafat is from Dhuhr up till Maghrib. Okay? And we emphasize the importance of Arafat, that it cannot beat any other day. And Arafat, presence in Arafat is wajib rukni. Wajib rukni is that element of the Hajj without which Hajj Tamattu cannot happen. So perchance if it happens, for example, in one of my trips I was there with Dr. Musin Sharif, and there was a lady who had a serious health problem, and she had to be taken to Jeddah urgently, and they had to have a doctor to accompany. So it was peak time, just before Dhuhr it happened. So he could not even do niyyah for wukuf. They had to leave in the ambulance. So immediately he changed the niyat of his ihram to Hajj Ifrad, means Hajj Mufrida. So he has done niyyah and ihram. He will come to Arafat. He didn't make it. He came back very late after Maghrib was over. So he missed the Arafat. So his Hajj becomes Hajj Ifrad. So he goes to Muzdalifah and Mina just dummy, just like, but in the state of ihram. Then he goes, does his Tawaf and other things like Umrah Mufrida. Okay? But being in Arafat is wajib rukni. And wajib rukni means this is the must for Hajj, for Hajj Tamattu. So you stay in Arafat between Dhuhr until Maghrib. Once it's Maghrib, you will have to leave Arafat. It is recommended not to pray Maghrib Isha in Arafat, to delay the Salah and pray in Muzdalifah. Okay? So we pray Salah of Maghrib Isha in Muzdalifah. Depending on the traffic and the routes and things, it may take a couple of hours to reach Muzdalifah. It is only about 18 kilometers. But still it may take a couple of hours because of number of buses and traffic and things. But now maybe it will not take that long, given the people have reduced. In Muzdalifah you have to stay. The Sunnat part is, according to the Quran, in Surah Baqarah it says, when you come out from the hills of Arafat and you are descending towards Mashharul Haram, then do dhikr of Allah. The more dhikr of Allah you do, the better. Wa dhikrillahu kathira. And the best dhikr is tasbiyat arba. Subhanallahi walhamdulillahi wa la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar. Then in Muzdalifah we have to just stay. It's wukuf of Muzdalifah, which is wajib. From Subh Sadiq to the rise of the sunshine. You can see in this poster, you stay at night, but when it is Subh Sadiq, to the rise of sunshine, that's the wajib part. So you make niyat, I am doing wukuf of Muzdalifah for Hajj Tamattu, for Hajjul Islam, wajib kurbatan ilallah. If you do a little bit loudly with a little voice, you can hear yourself, it's better because it registers better. But no need to really say it loud in a mic. Maybe Maulana is getting you do the niyat in the mic because he wants everybody to listen. But you can make niyat inside. But make the niyat so that it registers. The reason of making niyat is like you want to send an email without that dot, it doesn't go. So we don't do the niyat, it becomes khalal, ishkal in your amal which you are doing. You are like a robot. So you make niyat so it consolidates in your heart that I am doing this with intention, right? So make niyat and stay there. Once the sun rises, before sunrise of course you will do subuh namaz, maybe you will freshen up and then you go to Mina. So from Muzdalifah you go to Mina. Now this is the Eid day. Eid night you spent in Muzdalifah doing dhikr. And Eid day you are going towards Mina to do first thing to hit the big shaitan. Second thing to do Qurbani. And third thing to do halak. And then you return back to Mina. Or you stay over in Mina. So once you do Arafat and Muzdalifah, and you go to Mina, hit the big shaitan, and you do the Qurbani and halak, then the major part of Hajj Tamattu is covered. Part A. So now, as you can see from the slide, you hit the big shaitan. In the previous time, it was this one. Just 1.5 foot in each side. It was this thin. So it was very hard to aim at it. Not only hard to aim, but it was also risky to throw a stone on the opposite side. And suddenly you see you are being hit by stones from other side. Now it is long, it is broad, and it is taller. The sins have increased. It is recommended to hit the middle part because that's the original part. Next slide. So once you hit the big shaitan, generally you come back to the tent. Then volunteers are doing Qurbani for you. So once you are told that your Qurbani is done, then you do halak. So part A of Hajj Tamattu is clear. Okay? Are we clear there? Now you come back to Mina. Assalamu alaikum. Karib. I'm becoming nervous because Alim are sitting at the door. Now go park it over. Anyway, so the part A of the Hajj is over. Now you are in Mina. Now there are 3 scenarios. The next part of the Hajj Tamattu, here after halak, your ihram is gradually getting over. Like you are out of ihram in steps. Once you do halak, you can wear your normal clothes, but there are 3 things which you cannot do. Remember, those things which are always haram, whether you are in a state of ihram or not, uprooting, holding firearms, or being rude. These are always haram. But in the state of ihram, after halak, you are not allowed perfume yet, and you are not allowed spousal relations yet. So the ihram comes out in stages. It is not like the ihram of Umrah Tamattu. Then you can put perfume, etc. But here it is not allowed. So you need to take your stock of perfume-free soap and shampoo and whatever. Now we are on the day of Eid, we have finished halak. Now comes the next steps. The next night is 11th night, right? The next day is 11th day. Then there is 12th night and 12th day. So it is wajib to stay in Mina on the night of 11th and the night of 12th. I'm coming to the details, so be with me and listen carefully. Here, there are a lot of confusions. And when you enter any confusion, don't take a step. Especially if you are going for the first time and you don't have the experience. Ask. Better to ask. There will always be somebody who will answer your question. So 11th night and 12th night to stay in Mina is one of the wajibat. So you must stay in Mina on the 11th night and 12th night. So when you sleep on 11th night, you will make niyyah that I am doing wukuf or mabit of Mina. I am staying in Mina. For Hajjul Islam, for Hajj Tamattu, Hajjul Islam, wajib Qurbani Allah. You wake up in the morning of 11th, then you have to stone all the three shaitan. You see here? The small, the middle and the big. Then you go back to the tent and stay. I'm talking about scenario number 1. I finished halak, I stayed over, I slept at night, I made niyat that I am doing wukuf of Mina for Hajjul Islam, Hajj Tamattu, Hajjul Islam, wajib Qurbani Allah, finish. I wake up in the morning, all those wajibats of course you do, Maghrib, Isha, Subuh, Namaz, etc. You wake up in the morning, you have to hit all the three shaitans. And then come back to your tent, rest, read Quran, relax, sleep. You sleep over on the 12th, again in Mina, which is wajib. Okay? You make niyat again that I am doing mabit or I am staying in Mina for the 12th night for Hajj Tamattu, Hajjul Islam, wajib Qurbani Allah. You wake up on 12th, again, small, medium, big shaitan. And you come back. So, the staying of 2 nights is done. The hitting of 3 jamarats on 11th and 12th done. So, Mina, 11th and 12th nights done. Right? Look at your poster. Stoning the small, medium and large shaitan on 11th and 12th done. Are we clear? So, now as Zohar happens on the 12th day, then you go to Makkah. Now you go to Makkah, but you still are in partial ihram. Although you are wearing your track pant and t-shirt or kanzu or shirt and trouser, you still cannot put perfume and no marital relation. And of course, not carrying arms, not uprooting and not boasting. Wala rafatha, wala fusuka, wala jidala. Right? Now you go to Makkah and you go and do Tawaf. This is called Tawaful Hajj ke Tawaful Ziyarah. So you do Tawaf. And we know the rules of Tawaf, so I'll just remind ourselves. Tawaf begins from Hajr Aswad. Rule number 1, it begins from Hajr Aswad and ends at Hajr Aswad. Number 2, it should be 7, continuous. You must be in the state of wudu. I have not said anything about wudu. Ihram, Arafat, Muzdalifah, Mina, stoning, Qurbani, halak, wudu is always better. But it is not wajib. Suppose your wudu breaks while you are going to hit the jamarat, it's fine. It's valid to hit the jamarat. But now you are doing tawaf, wudu is wajib. Otherwise the tawaf is batil. Okay? So you start from Hajar Aswad, you end at Hajar Aswad. 7 rounds continuous. State of wudu. No touching the walls. Nowadays, that rule may not be very necessary to speak because now they have put a barricade. They have circled the whole of Kaaba with a white wall, little more circle, big one like this. So nobody can touch the walls anyway, nowadays, with this COVID and all those. Anyway, so don't touch the walls during wajib tawaf. Okay? Your left shoulder should be facing the Kaaba and you should be going anti-clockwise. And then we said about the rule of breaking the wudu. You remember? If it breaks below 3.5, it's batil. Go do wudu and start over. If it breaks above 4, then mark the point. Go do wudu, come. You don't go overestimate, go behind. If it broke here, for example, the wudu, when you come back, go a few steps behind and restart. Your 4th round, 5th round, 6th round, and 7th. If it breaks at 3.5, according to those who are doing Taqlid of Agha Sistani, like me, then you have to go do wudu, come back, finish the 3.5, and then repeat. We discussed this in detail, right? Remember? One of the rules was you have to do the tawaf yourself. So una buruzo, because in a very big crowd, sometimes you can stand and you can still be pushed. You have to deliberately do the tawaf, not bulldozed. Okay? So these are the regulations of tawaf. Once you finish the tawaf, then 2 rakat salah of Hajj, ziyarah, the tawaf ziyarah. 2 rakat salah, the way we have said, behind Maqam Ibrahim, 2 rakat salah. Remember the qiraat, especially the pronunciation between he, ain, dal, qaf, and remember there is dha, the tongue behind at the molars, and there is alif, dwad alif, and there is madda, and there is a shadda. So it is 6 haraka. Malim Muhammad Jafar is here and he will listen to this. 6 haraka means mentally you keep on practicing at home. Don't feel ashamed. This is the right thing to do. So you pronounce correctly. Remember to pronounce it correctly. And from there it will become a habit. Inshallah, we will be pronouncing the same way every day. When we come back, we will have changed. Right? So 2 rakat salah. Once you do the 2 rakat salah, then you have to do sa'i bayna Safa Marwa. As I said, once you finish salah, on your left side is Safa. And Safa is usually a bigger mountain. Nowadays they have put a glass shield on it. It's a bigger mountain. It's a little bit on the raised surface and it's on your left side. So once you are facing the Kaaba behind Maqam Ibrahim and praying, then you go towards left. There is usually confusion and some people will tell you, sa'i, masa, hena, and you get confused and you go and start from here. That's not allowed. And you cannot say that I started here, so maybe this first round I make it batil, I start that one as my first. No. You have to start from Safa. Okay? You start from Safa to Marwa. Marwa to Safa. That means the 7th round will be over at Marwa. For gents, you will see there are 2 green lights. It is called the Harwala. It is a place where you do a little trotting, little motions as if you are jogging. But not run like a bullet or push everybody and you dash. Just make it symbolic. It is sunnah. If you forget, you remember in the middle, it's fine. Oh, Batil take your name. If you forget, it's fine, no problem. But try to remember. And when you see all the other people, they are also running, it will remind you, oh, I have to run here. There is no absolute necessity of wudu there. You can take a little break, as a little break. So, you go break una la, upon little break. Drink Zamzam water, supplied all the way on the side. There is written drinking water and there is just a tap there. If it is written drinking water, you can't do wudu with it. It becomes ghasbi. So you drink that water. And you finish at Marwa. Here now there is no taksir because you have done halak. There is no more hair remaining. So you have finished halak, so there is no taksir here. So once you finish the sa'i, then one extra part of the ihram comes out. Like you are now allowed to put perfume. But still, marital relation is not allowed. Then you go and do Tawaf Nisa. You are wrongly accused that this is Tawaf for the wife. This is the Tawaf which is a gift to everybody from Allah of having completed Hajj Tamattu. So do one more Tawaf. Some people call it Tawaful Ziyara, some people call it other names, but it is Tawaful Nisa. Tawaful Wida. Some mazhab they call it Tawaful Wida. We say it Tawaful Nisa. Okay? So you do Tawaful Nisa followed by 2 rakat salah. Fortunately, there is no more sa'i. Only 2 rakat salah, and that completes your Hajj. Now, you can go and buy a ring for your wife and whatever. There is no problem. You are now completely out of ihram. So this is the gist of option number 1. 11th night, sleep over, wake up on 11th, go hit 3 shaitan, come over. 12th night, sleep over, go and hit the shaitan, come over. Dhuhr, go to Makkah, do the Tawaf, Salah of Tawaf, Sa'i. Right? Then Tawaful Nisa and 2 rakat Salah. Option number 1. Now in the terms of fiqh, now you listen carefully. In terms of fiqh, the only most wajib part of Mina at night is 1/2 of the night. Only 1/2 of the night. So you may do niyat of 1/2 of the night and sleep. Or you may keep awake until half of the night, make niyat and then do your namaz-e-shab and other things. So there is a leeway, there is a gap here that only 1/2 of it is absolutely wajib. The rest is sunnah. So here is option number 2. Some people, once they do halak, let's say you finish your halak at 1 p.m. And since only half of the night is wajib, some people dash to Makkah and they do the Tawaf. And come back before midnight. That's very important. If you can't make it before midnight, kafara. And therefore you will have to pay qaza again on the 13th night, stay over. So you must be there before middle of the night. It's not midnight English time, 12 midnight, no. Middle of the night. If 7 p.m. is Maghrib and 4 a.m. is Subuh Namaz, then how many hours? 8 hours, 9 hours, 8, 9 hours, okay? So half of it. So 4.5 hours is the middle of the night. It's not midnight. So you have to calculate of what the geographical time is there at that moment. So some, to avoid that confusion, they sleep over. Say, નથી ખપતું ત્યાં જાય દોરાદોરી કરીને પાછો આવવાનું ન પહોંચાય. You have to be in Mina, not necessarily in the tent, but in the vicinity of Mina. Here begins Mina, so you have to be inside. So, some people, what they do is, after the halak, they sleep. Then, at midnight, they sleep, and from Maghrib, they make niyah of wukuf. It is only wajib half of the night. So once the half of the night is over, they wake up and go away to haram. And then they come back after the tawaf. But on 11th, you must hit the stones. You have to hit the stones before Maghrib of 11th. If you come later than Maghrib of 11th, qada, you have to stay over 11th. It's not allowed to hit shaitan after Maghrib. Then that means it will carry forward to 11th. So the middle of the night is very important for you to make it. So most of the people, 11th, they don't play around. On the 12th morning, after they hit the Jamarat, or 11th morning after they hit the Jamarat, now you have a whole day and half of the night. Then they go and come back. Then they sleep over on 12th, wake up in the 12th and hit the shaitan, and they are done. Because they have finished the ahkam of Makkah. Now here, I will expect questions. You keep on asking. Don't worry. So option number 1, 11th night sleep, 12th night sleep. Wake up on 11th day, hit the shaitan. 12th day, hit the shaitan. No problem. After 12th, you go Makkah and finish the ahkam. Option number 2, 1/2 is only most important. So you may take that 8 hours or 10 hours, rush to Makkah, do your tawaf, come back. Maybe do half the things until the sa'i, then come back. The remaining night you go and do tawaful nisa and come back. So by the time you leave Mina, you are free to go. Some people go back home, they have a fast track, they have to go away soon, whatever commitment, etc. If you don't have that commitment and you are not in a rush, do it aramti. So I expect questions here. For the stones, you remember, you can pick them up anywhere in a place which is haram, haram sharif. And you can also pick them in Muzdalifah, although now I think they will restrict this. They are going to give these stones probably. And as I said, it should not be nuclear size. It is not really you are hitting the shaitan. There is a stone, it doesn't get hurt. It is the nafs. It's symbolic. You are remembering the story of Abraham, Nabi Ibrahim. It should be the size of your nail. This is the right size. It should be shiny stone. It should be stone. It should be not cement things because of construction. So you should make sure it is stone. And it should fit there. Some people flick like this. But it's hard if you are not experienced and if you are not very close. So you aim and look at the trajectory. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. It hits the and you count 7. Should be 7 exact. If something falls down, you don't pick it for 2 reasons. Because you don't know which one is your stone, then it becomes ghasbi. So take a few extra. And number 2, if there is too much crowd, while picking it, somebody will just push you and crush you. So don't take the risk. Hold extra stones, hit them. One after the other, 7. Okay? Yes, Abbas. If he gives you and you ask him, that's no problem. That's why you should always have a companion in Hajj. Okay? You should not pick the stones from down. You will find some people just easy stone ochu થઈ ગયો પાડી લે ને મારી લે વાંધો નહીં. It is ahkam. It is like, as you know, as a pharmacist, if you say you take this tablet, 1 tablet 3 times, and somebody takes it 2 times, you will become angry, right? આનો ડોઝ 3 ફેરે છે, તું કેમ 2 ફેરે ખાય છે? આ ટાલ આમ જ નથી આવી, તમને સમજાવું છું કારણ કે મને ખબર છે આનો ડોઝ 3 times છે. Allah in His wisdom has given you whatever number of times to do. There is some wisdom in it. A lot of philosophy in it. So, કેમ 7 ફેરે કરે? કેમ 8 ફેરે નહીં? કેમ 6 ફેરે નહીં? Ask him. There is wisdom in it. So, 7 in 7. બાકીના રહી ગયા, મન થાય છે સાવ બાજુમાં છું, બરાબર હિટ કરું છું, બાકીના રહી ગયા, દેને મારી દઉં બધા. No, it's not allowed. બહુ ગુસ્સો ચડે છે શેતાન ઉપર, ચંપલ કાઢીને ફગાવી દો. No, it's not allowed. આ શેતાન નથી, આયા છે, પોતાની ચંપલ મારો. Okay? So now, as I promised last time, there are certain gems I want to talk to you about. And today I have come with this book. It is called The Pictorial History of Madinatul Munawwara. It is written by Dr. Muhammad Ilyas Abdul Ghani. He is a Sunni scholar from the Salafi Madhab. This book is available in the bookshops in Saudi Arabia. It is from their bookshops. This is not a Shia book, inverted commas. This is a book, everybody reads it. I'm not trying to say anything else, but I want to point out one thing. On page 21 of this book, it is reported that Bibi Aisha radiallahu anha reported that when any person fell ill with a disease or he had an ailment or injury, the Apostle of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi placed his forefinger on the ground and then lifted it by reciting the name of Allah and said, "The dust of our ground, with the saliva of one of us, serves as a cure for our ill ones. Bi-idhnillah." Sahih Muslim, hadith number 2194. The saliva of one of us, the Prophet is saying, one of us, and the soil of this earth becomes khakhu shafa. So what about the blood and the soil? Doesn't that blood become khakhi shafa? Just a point to ponder, because this is being heard globally. This is on YouTube, but just a point to ponder. Don't point a finger to anyone, because it is written in the hadith. The saliva of the Prophet or one of him and the dust of Medina becomes shafa. So, I'll tell you here one thing From our madhab, it is said that when the Prophet, when Hazrat Hamza was martyred in the Uhud, then he first ordered Bibi Fatima alayha salam, go to Medina and go to the family of Hazrat Hamza and stay with them for 10 days and make sure you feed them and take care of the widow and the children. That is the philosophy of what we call in Gujarati kharkharo, to go and do ziyarah, to meet the families and console them and feed them. Although the tradition has changed nowadays. When you go to Karimani, you are expected to be fed by the people who have lost somebody. They are feeding you. It's very embarrassing. You should be feeding them. This is the hadith of the Prophet. This is the practical thing about the Prophet. And he advised Bibi Fatima alayha salam to go every Thursday to recite Fatiha at Hazrat Hamza. And Bibi Fatima used to go there and pick up the dust and mix it with water, make them into pebbles and put them in a thread and create a tasbih of the grave, of the sand from Hazrat Hamza. This is the first tasbih of Khaki Shafa, the blood of the martyr and the dust of Medina. That was the first example. So these are examples. Whoever is listening can go and confirm in the books. So this is the gem. I said every day I'll give you something which is very important. But even more important is to remember these signs and symptoms and signs and pillars and areas where we are going. Mina is a place of love. Mina is a place of rejoicing. Mina is your mannat has been accepted. You stay there. You have finished a lot of activities. You reflect. Reflect. In Mina, there is something, a big mosque called Masjid-e-Khif. And it's said that all the Anbiya have prayed Salah here. And it is recommended to pray 100 rakat Salah here. It is very hard because it is too much rush. But try to recite at least 2 rakat Salah here. 2 rakat Salah for yourself, 2 rakat for your parents, 2 rakat for marhum relatives, 2 rakat for alive relatives, 2 rakats for ulama, 2 rakats for your friends. As many rakats you can recite is good. This is Masjid-e-Khif. And remember, in the last Hajj of the Prophet, actually when you go to see, the Prophet did one Umrah, and that was when there was Fateh Makkah. And then he did Hajj. Fateh Makkah was 8th of Zilhajj, 8th of after Hijrat, right? 8 AH, yeah, Mali? 8 AH after Hijrat, 8 AH was Fateh Makkah, right? Then he went to Hajj. Then he went to last Hajj. So Prophet actually did only 2 Hajj, or maybe 3 Hajj. So in his last Hajj, he went to all these places and kept on talking about the Ummah, about the unity of Ummah. He came to Masjid-e-Khif, he talked about unity of Ummah. He was at the Jabal-e-Rahmah near Arafat. He said, Ummah, Ummah, Ummati, Ummati, Ummati. Keep united, keep united, keep united. Because he could see that there is something going to happen. The big fitna is going to happen. Keep united, keep united, keep united. Hajj is a unifying factor. He kept on saying in all the places. Until he reached Ghadir Khum, then he announced. When the ayat of the Quran came, that Balligh ma unzila, that you are told to say that, reveal that, which I have told you to. Otherwise, the whole mission becomes incomplete. We know about this. So, these are some things which you have to repeatedly go on reading about. There is the Jange Hunain. In Medina, in Jannatul Baqi, there are a number of historical things you can remember or discuss. The Jange Harra, the Shuhada of Jange Uhud who are buried there, the grave of Hazrat Ibrahim, the grave of Hazrat Malik and Hazrat Imam Malik, and the graves of the Zawja of the Prophet Ummul Mu'mineen, the grave of Ummul Banin, the grave of all other people, the grave of Maria Kiptiya, the grave of Bibi Fatima bint Asad, the grave of Abbas, the uncle of the Prophet. Besides our Aimas, there are so many other holy personalities there. Think and read about their history. Don't miss out this chance. This we have discussed is the basic fundamental. Okay? Now, option number 1, 11th, 12th night you stay, 11th morning. Option number 2, half of the night, either way. Now I am coming to completely different option. And here I want to say something which is very important. It is recommended that we pray 5 times prayers. But it is alright, acceptable and jais to pray 3 times, mixing Zohar and Asr, Maghrib and Isha, the way we do. But it is recommended to pray 5 times a day. So don't change your mind saying that, no, you have to mix Zohar, Asr. It is recommended to pray separately. Because you stay in the state of wudu and remembrance throughout the day. It is recommended to do that. Right? So when we have different judgmental ideas, that's not right. We do it 3 times so that we don't forget. You will find frequently if you are praying Zohar separately and Asr, and you are engrossed with the traffic in Pugu Road and things, you will miss your Asr. So better when I pray Zohar, I also pray Zohar and Asr together. Because if I separate, I might miss the Asr. But it is recommended to pray 5 times. Malim, am I saying something wrong? Sorry. We pray so that we don't miss the wajibat for the sunnah. We don't miss the wajibat for the sunnah. It is highly recommended to pray separately. Now here comes the dotted lines. You see that dotted lines? On 8th of Zilhajj, it is recommended to go to Mina. On 8th of Zilhajj, it is recommended to go to Mina. So the 9th night, that is the night of Muslim ibn Aqil, will happen at Mina. It is recommended. Highly recommended. In some mazhab, it is almost wajib. So we go to Mina, 9th night you sleep there. In the morning you wake up and then you go to Arafat. So this is the dotted line. You go to Mina, you stay over, and then you go to Arafat. And then the remaining is same. So there is just this one option which is recommended but not considered to be wajib in our mazhab. But if you are able to, this is the best thing to do. Why not? If you have arthritis and you have medical problems and it is very inconvenient, it's fine. You go directly to Arafat. If you are able to go to Mina, that's the best thing to do. Al-Hajj Muhammad Bhai usually makes arrangements and announcements is done. For those who want to go to Mina on 8th, please register your names because we have to fix and be sure who is there in the tent and who is not there in the tent. You can't suddenly decide you want to go and you disappear. Then we are confused. Where is Abbas? Where is Hussein? Where is Molu? Where is Ali? And where is Hadi? And where are other people? Right? Then it comes, you register your name so that there is good logistics. It is not prevented for anybody to go on 8th to Mina. It is highly recommended. If you can't go and it is not convenient, it's fine if you don't go. It's highly recommended. So usually, from Mecca, from the Haram, there is a tunnel which takes about 1.5 to 2 hours walk. I'm sure you can walk 2 hours, can't you? You are cycling how many kilometers? 50 kilometers till 65 kilometers till Bagamoyo. You can't walk 2 hours. I see you go Haram, you make your ihram, make niyat, and walk to Mina, and stay on 8th Mina. Extra sawab. Whatever extra you can gain, you gain. This is your time. Whatever extra you can gain, you gain. This is your time. Then you stay over there. And then 9th morning, you go to Arafat. It is a walk. Depending on the heat, depending on your health. If you can't, then you can take a bus. Then you remember you are in a state of ihram, you can't go in a shaded bus, so you pay a kafar. You can walk. Now in this heat, there are hospitals in every centers. They call Istashfa Zarbat Shams. Zarbat, you know, stroke. Shams means the sun. All the hospitals of sunstroke, they will be in every corner. Istashfa Zarbat Shams, the hospital for heat stroke. So you are admitted there, a drip is given and ice is put on your body to cool you down because there is heat stroke, 42 degrees. 42 degrees. So you have to be careful of your health as well. So now I will expect some questions. Here we have done this. We will go in the detailed Masaels later. So let's say I'm old and I'm sick, I have very high fever, I cannot do the Rami of Jamarat on 11th. I'm just sleeping on the bed. And before Maghrib I have to do. If you can go on a wheelchair and do it, well and good. Go in the time when there is no rush, then you can be pushed with a wheelchair, no problem. If you can't at all, you are very sick, then you can give anybody to do niyabat for you. Niyabat can be done to hit the stones. It's fine. And there is no need to pay qada even if you become well. It is done. And remember, everything should go in sequence. So you come out from Muzdalifah, you go to Mina. First you hit the big shaitan on the Eid day. Then you do Qurbani and then you do Halak. If your Qurbani is not done on the 10th, because of whatever delay, then you can't take out your ihram. It carries forward. But on the next day, you can wait. Once the Qurbani is done, you do Halak. You have already slept over on 11th. You can do the niyat, and then you go and hit the stone for the 11th day. But you will have to stay in the state of ihram until then. Yes, Hadi. The Eid namaz for Hujjaj is the stoning of big shaitan. The rest of the world will be praying namaz, Eid namaz. But the recitation which is done on that day when you are going to hit shaitan is same like you feel Eid. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. It goes on. So you can feel that Eid feeling. You're going to hit the big shaitan. It is nice feeling. So there is no Eid namaz. Maybe after halak we can do our own namaz. Another sunnat namaz. So on Eid night you are in Muzdalifah. People are doing amal of Eid night. People are praying Eid namaz elsewhere. So, any questions? Yes, Hussein.
So let's say on the ninth night we have got an option to either spend the night on Arafat itself
Or in Mina.
or in Mina. So are we supposed to sleep on that night or
You can sleep on that night. It is good to do amals on these holy nights. So there is amal of Dawood. They do it on the night of Arafat. It's a long amal, but any amal you do, with maximizing the benefit of it. Sometimes you get carried away, especially if you are going to B plus or A10s and there is so much juice and food and so many things, you get distracted and you start eating and rejoicing and enjoying. Time is flying. Allah says in the Quran, Wal Asr. He is swearing by the time. Which time? The time is going. Innal insana lafi khusr. For surely human beings, mankind is in khasara. Illa alladhina amanu wa amilus salihat wa tawasaw bis sabr. So you have to have patience and you do the right things and you have the iman. Remember, time is flying.
We can make the most of this night and then sleep during the day before.
You will, if you are very tired, you will anyway nap a little bit here and there. Then you have Mina to rest 2 days. So now come to the Qurbani thing. Qurbani is wajib. It is highly recommended that you do it yourself. It is not practical to take out of 100 Hujjaj, 60 will be men. So all 60 will go to Moisam, which is around 18 to 20 kilometers away from Mina. You walk all the way in the state of Ihram. All of us in the line, 60 of us, going to do Qurbani each one after other. This is not practical. So we do Niyaba. The Niyaba is done that every volunteer takes 10 people's names, or 20, or depending on the number of volunteers. Some youths, they join the volunteers to do their own Qurbani. It's fine. It's good. You get to experience it yourself. And remember, this Qurbani is no fun. It's a serious thing. We are going to undertake action which is an example of the action which Nabi Ibrahim did for his son. And we said last time it is an example of وَفَدَيْنَاهُ بِذِبْهِ عَظِيمٍ. We gave an example of the sacrifice of Habil and Kabil. Bakro $100 નું છે. ઓલા મજાફરના વોલન્ટિયર્સ ગોતવા ગયા $120. પણ $100 મરતા મરતા રહી ગયા છે. હાડ પિંજર છે સાવ, હાડકા છે સાવ. Are you going to sacrifice that for Allah? Get that tagra one, you feel like eating it up. Get that goat, sacrifice it. Remove the materialism from you. Choose the best one. The one which has full teeth, nice, handsome. Take it, slaughter it. The Sharia says the slaughter has 3 parts. This is important. The slaughter has 3 parts. One belongs to you. You have to carry 1/3 with you to Mina for that you eat it. It's not practical to carry 1/3 of the goat and 1/3. Where will he store this thing in Mina? He doesn't have a fridge there in Mina. So we sacrifice ours. We say the government is distributing to Muslims. My part I am sacrificing. I am giving it away. 1/3 you have to give it to a friend or family. So I would say, Hussein, my 1/3 I am giving it to you. So you say, I am allowing you to give it away. Thank you. So then I say that my other 1/3 part is, I also let the Saudi government, let me finish. give it to Muslim countries. And then 1/3 has to be given to the poor. Now some here are different. If we leave the meat to be given away by Saudi government to Muslim countries, you are not sure that 1/3 of yours has been given to the poor. It is generalized to a Muslim country. So it is better for you to make niyyah that the 1/3 meant for the poor, I will give equivalent to that to the poor in my country. You get the point? So what I do usually when it is the day of Qurbani, I call my wife, I said, look, here the goat has costed $120. So $40 equivalent, you buy meat and give it to the poor. Best, we are 3 of us, you buy 1 goat there, you buy 1 goat and distribute in our 3 people's name. To Bilal school or to Vipas or to any place. It's fine. So you are happy and clear that it has been given to the poor, that 1/3. And what I gave to my friend, he has samehed me, and what is mine also I have given it away. It's fine. That is the Sharia. Yes, Hadi.
Why not sacrifice the animals in our countries? All countries, why does it have to be so?
That's the rule. That's where Nabi Ibrahim went to sacrifice Ismail, in that place. The same question can be answered. Why don't we just keep 3 pillars which look like shaitan and hit them here only? Why you have to go and hit there?
You spoke about practicality. You say you cannot take 1/3 of that, therefore we are putting meat. So it makes it difficult. Why don't we sacrifice those animals?
There are a few ulama who say that it is fine. But by far and large, 99.9% of ulama of all the mazhab, from Ahlul Sunnah, whatever denomination they are, and the Jafari school, they say the sacrifice must be done in the vicinity of Makkah. It is not allowed to do anywhere else. So it is a Sharia, we have to do that. Somebody says so much of people are being thrown there. If we do a big here, or big shaitan here on the day of Eid, we go and hit, we will get so much kokoto and we will just have a lorry to pick it up and go for construction. So much we will get. It's not allowed. So it's symbolic, you have to be there to do it. And the same thing applies. So when somebody is doing your niyabat in Muaysam, which is far, is doing the niyabat, he must make sure that you have already stoned the big shaitan on the day of Eid. Okay? And when he's doing that Qurbani, when you are sitting in the tent, volunteers will put a PowerPoint projection of the rules and regulations, of dua, of things. So you reflect that my Qurbani is being done. This is the time I am reflecting. This is the time you are looking at those slides. This is the time you are reading about the Qurbani of Hazrat Ibrahim. And when the phone comes, you say, Alhamdulillah, may Allah accept my Qurbani. Then you go and do halak. Now comes to halak. So somebody asked the Prophet, should I do halak or just taksir? If it is your first Hajj, wajib first Hajj, halak for gents. Then the person asked again to the Prophet, should I do halak or taksir? The Prophet said, halak. The third time, should I do taksir or halak? Halak. There is no choice. Halak is to be done in wajib Hajj for the first Hajj. For the second Hajj, third Hajj, maybe you can get away with it, with taksir. But halak is highly recommended. And there is an ayat in the Quran, in Malim niambia basi sura gani? It is in the Treaty of Budapest, under the tree, which is that ayat. In the Treaty of Budapest, so we talk about Treaty of Budapest. When we reach there, we will talk about it. So let me just check here about the halak. This is a very interesting ayat of the Quran. Malim Jafar, only Treaty of Budapest, kya Surah 48, Surah 48 क्यों? Surah Fatih. Surah 48, ayat number 28. Surah 48, ayat number 28. This is mentioned about halak. So, interestingly, in Surah Baqarah, 25 to 30 ayats of the Quran in Surah Baqarah mention about Hajj. As compared to Surah Hajj, there are only 13 ayats of the Quran which mention about Hajj. Surah Baqarah, almost 25 to 30 ayats mention about Hajj at different points, at different levels. So when we go to Masjid al-Qiblatain, when the Qibla was changed, remember in Hajj, you listen to the Quran. Don't speculate and don't cause conjecture. Listen to the Quran. The Quran tells you that we ordered the Prophet to change the Qibla. We ordered the Prophet to change the Qibla. On a particular day, on 2nd of Shaban, in the 2nd of Hijri, change the Qibla from Baytul Muqaddas to Masjidul Haram. Change the Qibla. So now you start arguing with me. तो कई नमाज में कह रहा था जोहर नहीं के असर नहीं ये रुकू में था के कयाम में था सिजदा में हो तो केवी રીતના ચેન્જ કરશે કિબલા ઈ આગળ હતા કે પછાડે હતા શું છે તને પ્રોબ્લેમ આયત ઓફ ધ કુરાન છે કે કિબલા ચેન્જ થયો ને પ્રોફેટ કિબલા ચેન્જ કર્યા ને અહીંયા છે એક્ઝામ્પલ આર્યો અહીંયા બૈતુલ મુકદ્દસ આમ હતું ને બૈતુલ હરામ આમ છે તો હા બૈતુલ મુકદ્દસ આમ છે 180 degrees. Such a geographical location which even the scientists are baffled. Every jagama, yeah, Qibla changes 180. So precise. To have to Prophet Baitul Muqaddas ma am pera. Ne have Baitul Haram am che to khobo hua be rakat pari lo. Pachi hua am bi be rakat sunat pari lo. Haram. Because Quran ni next ayat che from now on you will never recite namaz anywhere else except facing the Qibla. So તમે કોણ ત્યાં નવી સુન્નત કાઢવા? It's not allowed. And no conjectures. ઓલો કીધો કે આમ ઊભા હતા એના આગળ આ હતું ને એના આગળ ઓ હતું ને રૂકુમાં હતા ને કયામમાં હતા આર્ગ્યુમેન્ટ ઉપર આર્ગ્યુમેન્ટ નથી જરૂર વાંચો કુરાન તદબ્બુર કરો અને ખુશી થાવ કે તમે એવી પાક જગામાં છે યા નબી સલામમાં આપણે પઢે છે ને ઇમામ અલ કિબલતેન કોઈ બીજો ઇમામ નથી સિવાય પૈગંબર જે ઇમામ અલ કિબલતેન છે ઇમામ હતા ટુવર્ડ્સ બૈતુલ મુકદ્દસ ને ઇમામ ઈ જ હતા ટુવર્ડ્સ બૈતુલ હરામ નો આર્ગ્યુમેન્ટ્સ. Okay? Don't do any arguments if you are not learned. Accept what is written in the book. And kem Qibla changed you. Number one, Makkah માં હતા ત્યારે કેમ કિબલા હાજી બૈતુલ મુકદ્દસ હતું? 10 વર્ષ મક્કામાં હતા, 13 વર્ષ મદીનામાં રહ્યા, 2 વર્ષ મદીનામાં રહીને પછી કિબલા ચેન્જ થયું. કારણ કે જ્યારે મદીનામાં હવે ધર્મ ફેલાતું હતું.
Say that there is the team raised an error.
And that was causing huzn to the Prophet, and Allah says to the Prophet, Sayakulu Sufahau, this foolish people, they will keep on talking whatever they do. But you wait, I'm going to give you a token. A great token I'm going to. Surah Baqarah, ayat number 144. Qad nara takalluba. It starts with Qad nara takalluba. I am ordering you from now, change the Qibla. Now, change the Qibla. And from now you will face the Baytul Haram forever. Ayat number 144. Easy change a businessman che gross. One gross is 144. Right? Easy change. Yaad rese ne 144. 144. Surah Baqarah, ayat number 144. Qad nara takalluba. Change the Qibla. Don't be taklif na uthao tame. Don't get hurt, O my Prophet. Now this is your Qibla. Before that, there is an ayat which says Allah is in all the directions. Whether it's east or west or south or north, everywhere Allah is there. But you have been ordered to pray towards the Kaaba. The whole world prays towards the Kaaba. Okay? So these are things which will come up. And we are ready to discuss with each other. We will learn from you and you will learn from us. There is no one superior there. In the eyes of Allah, everybody is same. Okay? And when you are in doubt, Fas'alu ala dhikri. Ask those who know. There will be ulamas. I am teaching or discussing here basic fundamentals, what we have to know. If you are in any doubt, if I am able to answer, I will say, okay, you do it this way. I know this. If I am in doubt, Malim, please samjhao jara, confusion che, bhuli gaya che jara, no problem. There will be people who know. There, alims will. Ask them, they will tell you. Okay, so don't get nervous, don't get confused. Remember, this is a holy trip. Yes. Okay. Surah Fatah, ayat number 28. This was revealed, the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. Okay, Hudaybiyah majare, they were refrained or not allowed to go to do Umrah until they write the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. So Paighambar kita e lokane ke aya halak kari nako and consider your Hajj done and let's go back to Medina. Interestingly, Masjid-e-Tanim is another place where ihram can be put after Hajj Tamattu. Masjid-e-Tanim ti am tame sibta jao shahar Masjidul Haram che akku siddo rasto che. We will actually pass through where we usually stay at Al-Jumaiza. Straight che pachi Madrasatul Abdullah bin Zubair che. Pachi agar jao to Janatul Mualla che. Pachi je Masjid-e-Jinn ne Masjid-e-Ala che. Pachi agar jao to Haram pahunche che. The whole road from Masjid-e-Tanim to Makkah, to the Haram, Mount Abu Qubais, until the place where the moon was split into two as a miracle. Akhi history che rasta. Keep on enjoying it. नहीं देखा है तुमने ये जब अगाव हो तो हमने तो तुम्हें gold ने glitter देखा से खाली. But you have to have your wildest imagination to come back to reality. Aya am tutu, aya am tutu, aya am tutu. And these things in these different locations have been told by people who have seen it with their own eyes. It is not hearsay. And people have written it down. And it is there on record. Okay, so, yes. Yeah, so in time permitting, in Makkah, there is Jabal-e-Nur, Jabal-e-Thawr, and all these Jannat-e-Mu'alla and others. In Medina, there is a place of where Mubahala took place. Then there is Uhud. Then there is Masjid-e-Sabah or the Khandaq area. And then there is Masjid-e-Qiblatain, Masjid-e-Quba. all those things are very important. It is said that when you are in Medina and you come out from your house in the state of wudu, in tahara, and go to Masjid Quba to recite 2 rakat salah, this is written universally in all the books, including Sahih Bukhari, that you go to Masjid Quba and recite 2 rakat salah in the state of tahara, then the thawab is like 1 umrah. Then instead of wasting your time talking in the baraza, do wudu and go to Masjid Quba. Take a taxi, 20 riyal, 30 riyal, go 4 of you, how much will it cost when you pull together? 3 jana jao to 10 riyal. $3 नहीं केला था 10 रियाल खबर नहीं 1 umrah no sawab. There is history in Masjid Quba, great history in Masjid Quba. So read about it, do your amals there, pray one salah every day with a state of wudu from your house. Go to Masjid Quba. કેટલું કોસ્ટ થાય તમે Masjid Quba જાઓ? You don't even have to wait કે બસ મળે, લિફ્ટ મળે, ભેરા થાય બધા, મોડું થઈ જાય, આમ થાય તે 3-4 જણા ભેરા થાય, હાલો Masjid Quba વટાઈ જાય, સીધો ટેક્સીમાં વટાઈ ગયો. ત્યાં તો એહરામ નથી હોતો મદીનામાં. પહેલો તમારા ફાઇન ખાંજુ પરફ્યુમ નાખો, જાઓ પૈગંબરના રોઝામાં જાઓ, મજા કરો રોજાઓ. એવી જગા નથી દુનિયામાં જે રીતના મસ્જિદ નબવી છે. મસ્જિદ નબવીમાં એક જગા છે જેને રૌઝાતુલ મિન રિયાઝુલ જન્ના કહેવાય છે. મને તો ખબર નથી, પણ હું મારા પોતાના વિચારમાં ઉલમાઓને સાંભળું છું. અને આ ઇમામ અલીનું એક મિરેક્યુલસ પ્રોમિસ છે કે બીબી ફાતિમાની ગ્રેવ કોને નથી ખબર ક્યાં છે. એના ઘરે દફનાવ્યા છે, જન્નતુલ બકીમાં દફનાવ્યા છે કે રિયાઝુલ જન્નામાં દફનાવ્યા છે, કોને નથી ખબર, કોઈને નથી ખબર. સ્ટોરીઝમાંથી, હદીસમાંથી થોડું ઘણું આપણે આમ વિચાર કરે છે તો થાય છે કદાચ જન્નતુલ બકીમાં હશે. કારણ કે રૂખસતીમાંથી જ્યારે ઇમામ હુસૈન નીકળતા હતા તો જન્નતુલ બકીમાં ગયા ખુદાફિઝ કરો. મે બી ત્યાં હશે, મે બી ત્યાં નહીં હશે, આપણે નથી ખબર. મે બી એના ઘરે હશે, મે બી રિયાઝુલ જન્નામાં હશે. તો રિયાઝુલ જન્નાની જગામાં તમને ચાન્સ મળે જન્નતનો ટુકડો ત્યાં. ઓનલી 2 એક્ઝામ્પલ જન્નતનો ટુકડો, તહતે કુબા અને રિયાઝુલ જન્ના, 2 જ એક્ઝામ્પલ છે હદીસોમાં. રિયાઝુલ જન્નામાં નમાઝ પઢ્યા 2 રકાત, લાંબી લાઈન છે, ક્યુ છે, તમને બીજું શું કામ છે? કેટલા કુકડા બાકી છે ત્યાં અંડા દેવા? ખોબરો છો કે અંડા દે? નથી જરૂર. જાઓ મસ્જિદમાં, લાઈન છે પહોંચવા રિયાઝુલ જન્ના, વાંધો નથી, લાઈનમાં ખોબરશું પણ પહોંચશું. સાહેબ ત્યાં 2 રકાત નમાઝ પઢવાની, ત્યાં 2 રકાતમાં મરહુમોને યાદ કરવાનું, પોતાના ગુનાઓને યાદ કરવાનું. આ ખંભાના સામે જ પૈગંબરનો રોઝો, શાંતિ, શાંત સુકૂન, મને લાગે જન્નતમાં છો. ક્યાં મળે તમને આવી જગા? હંગામા દરરોજ, મંદિરના માથાકૂટથી, દુકાનોના માથાકૂટથી, તિયારેના માથાકૂટથી. જન્નત છે ત્યાં. શાંતિથી બેસીને તોબા કરો ને તસબીહ કરો. પરોરે નીકળી જાઓ નમાઝ પઢી આવો શબની ત્યાં. નમાઝી શબ પઢીને નમાઝ સુબુની પઢો અને કાંઈ ગોટાળા નહીં વાળતા કે હવે આ લોકો સુન્ની ઇમામ છે ને અમે શિયા છે, વકાય છે, બધું હલાલ, બધું રજા છે, એલાઉડ. પૈગંબર એની લાસ્ટ હજમાં શું કીધા? યુનિટી. નમાઝ પઢી લ્યો, નમાઝી જનાઝા પરાશે, કોઈ મયતોને લઈ જવામાં આવશે જન્નતુલ બકી ખુલશે, એનો ટાઈમ થશે, જાઓ તમે ઝિયારત કરો, ત્યાં ઝિયારત કરો બધા મરહુમો માટે, બધા અંબિયા ઉલમા જે છે ત્યાં. અમારા પોતાના અવલિયા ઉપર પરો ફાતિહા ઝિયારત. જગ નહીં કરો, ઝઘડા નહીં કરો, બહાદુરી નહીં બતાડવાનું. ઝિયારત પતાવી એન્જોય ઓલું જે જન્નતુલ બકીની સવારની ધૂળ ઉડતી હોય ને, સ્પેશિયલી સમરમાં હજી કુલ હોય એ ટાઈમે. અલ્લાહ એ જગા તમને ક્યાં મળે બીજે? એન્જોય ઇટ. દરરોજ જવાનું છે, પરોરે વટાઈ જવાનું. દુઆની બુક્સ, દુઆની બુક્સ હજ ઓલી કઈ યુરોપિયન હજ કમિટી વાળા બનાવ્યા હતા, આખું ફોલ્ડર આવી બુક્સનું. પણ આ બુક્સ જે યુરોપિયન હજ મિશનની છે, આમાં એક છે મદીનાની. એમાં બધી મેન ઝિયારતો છે અને બધી જગાઓ છે. પછી છે મક્કા, મક્કાની બુક આમાં, અને અરાફાત, મક્કા અને અરાફાત. આ 3 બુક બેસ્ટ કમ્પેનિયન છે. અને કુરાન છે, આપણે મોટીમાં મોટી દુઆ છે. આ યુરોપિયન હજ મિશન અગાઉ દેતા હતા હંમેશા. હવે પ્રીવિયસ જ્યાં જે ગયા હોય તમે માંગો, કરાચી રોકા દેશે. પણ કાંઈ બહુ નિરાશ ના થાવ. આ યુનિવર્સલ બુક છે અમારા પાસે. એક તો છે આપણા પાસે કુરાન, અને બીજી છે આદાબુલ હરમૈન. આ મારી ઓરિજિનલ આદાબુલ હરમૈન છે, પહેલી હજની 1995ની છે. આજે સુધી વાંચું છું, દરરોજ વાંચું છું તો કાંઈ નવું જોઉં છું એમાં, કે મને નથી યાદ આ હતું વાંચું છું કાંઈ. આ તોશા છે ને આપણી બધી યુઝ્યુઅલ દુઆઓ જે છે, દુઆએ મશરૂત છે, જ્યારે તે આશુરા છે, દુઆએ કુમેલ છે, દુઆએ તવસ્સુલ છે. ફોન રજા છે લઈ જવાનું, પણ હવે તમે દુઆ ખોલો એમાં અને કોઈ વખતે હેરાન કરતા હોય, આ જે શું પડે છે તું મૂકી દે આના પર, આંખમાં આવી જાઓ, એ પ્રોબ્લેમ છે. પછી છે બીજું કે આપણે ચેન પહેરાવો હોય, હઝરત અબ્બાસની ચેન છે, આપણે હઝરત અબ્બાસનો દોરો પહેરાવો. બીજાના નજરમાં આગ નીકળતી હોય એ જોઈને, તો તમે હેરાન ના થાવ, વાંધો નથી. અબ્બાસ અમારો જ છે દિલમાં, કાઢીને ખીચામાં નાખી દો, ચેન કાઢીને ખીચામાં નાખી દો, વાંધો નથી. ખાસ કરીને પુરુષો માટે આ તો અબ્બાસની ચેન છે, હું નહીં જ કાઢું. પછી એ લોકો આવીને તમને હેરાન કરે, લઈ જાય ક્વેશ્ચન કરવા, દોરો તમને કાપે. એ લોકો એકચ્યુઅલી કાતર સાથે ફરતા, કાપી લે તમારો દોરો, ક્વેશ્ચન્સ પૂછા કરે, શિર્ક કે ના પહેરો. એ ના પહેરવાથી હઝરત અબ્બાસ કે ઇમામ હુસૈન નાના નહીં થઈ જાય, મૂકી દો, વાંધો નથી, હજમાં નહીં પહેરો. એટલે આ દુઆઓ બધી છે, તમે લઈ જાઓ ને જેટલી દુઆ કરી શકતા હો. હદીસમાં કહેવામાં આવ્યું છે કે બૈના હરમૈન, એટલે મક્કા અને મદીનાના વચમાં તમે અગર કુરાન ખિતમિશા કરશો તો તમે પૈગંબરને તમારા લાઈફ ટાઈમમાં જોશો, અથવા તો તમે સપનામાં તમારી જગા જન્નતમાં જોશો. તો ખિતમિશા કરવાનો એક કુરાન 30 સિપારા છે. એક સિપારાનું લગભગ કલાક લાગે. દરરોજ 1-1.5 સિપારા પઢો તો પતી જાય 20 દિવસમાં, કે નહીં? So use the time as much as possible in a fruitful way. Yes. કુરાન જોવાથી, કુરાન પઢવાથી, કુરાન સાંભળવાથી બધામાં સવાબ છે. બધામાં સવાબ છે. બેસ્ટ છે જોઈ, વાંચી ને જોરથી પડવાનું. આઈઝ, માઉથ એન્ડ થ્રોટ, અને તમારું કોન્સન્ટ્રેશન હોય, યુ આર રીડિંગ ઇટ લાઉડ, you are listening to it. But the sensations are open and absorbing the Quran. Best છે પરવાનું, જરાક loudly પરવાનું.
For example, આપણે ઓલા જગાવાના શિક્ષણ હોય તો વિદ્યાર્થીઓને કરવાનું તો વિદ્યાર્થીઓ કદાચ સજેશન પણ આપણે આ ક્લિપ અગર આપણા પાસે હોય તો એક માટે જ્યારે આપણે ઓન કરીને બધું વિદ્યાર્થી હેડફોનમાં
પોસિબલ છે, બધી જાતના રસ્તા છે. હું મારો પર્સનલ ઓપિનિયન આપું છું. હું જ્યારે હરમમાં હું પૈગંબરના રોઝામાં, ત્યારે હું મારો નમાઝ પતાવી લઉં, પછી હું મારી ઝિયારત કરી લઉં. પૈગંબરની ઝિયારત કરું, બીબી ફાતિમાની ઝિયારત કરું, બધા ઇમામોની ઝિયારત કરું, યા જ બેસીને પરી લઉં આમાંથી જ બધી. ઇમામ હસનની, ઇમામ ઝૈનુલ આબિદીન, ઇમામ મુહમ્મદ બાકીર ને ઇમામ જાફર સાદિક અલૈહિસ્સલામ, બધા આઈમાની પરી લઉં. પછી સાથે એમ જ બીજી બધી ઝિયારતો પરી લઉં. પછી હું જઈને ખાલી નજરેથી ઝિયારત કરી લઉં જન્નતુલ બકી. પ્રોબ્લેમ નથી. ઇટ ઇઝ માય પર્સનલ ઓન.
going with your personal the haram of there are no restrictions.
તમે આ આદબુલ હરમૈન વાપરો ને હું આમાં તો બધું રબ જ કરી નાખ્યું કે આમાં ખબર ન પડે કોને કઈ બુક છે. આ બ્લેક બુક છે આદાબુલ હરમૈન. હવે આ અમુક ફેરે છે ને એ લોકો એકચ્યુઅલી હેરાન નથી કરતા, તમે શાંતિથી એક જગામાં બેસીને પઢો, હેરાન નથી કરતા. પઢી લો, પતાવી લો બધું, કોઈ હેરાન નહીં કરે. ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ તમે મસ્જિદે કુબામાં જાઓ, મસ્જિદે કુબામાં એક એવી ખાસ દુઆ છે 2 રકાત નમાઝ પઢવાની, અને એવી ખાસ દુઆ છે કે આ દુઆ તમે વાંચો ને આદબુલ હરમૈનમાં છે. અલ્લાહુમ્મા ઇન્નકા કુલતા વ કૌલુકલ હક્કુ. O God, O my Lord, you have said in the rightful book, Fi Kitabil Munzal, the one you have revealed, ala sadri nabiyyikal mursal, the chest of the prophet, the messenger. La masjidu assasa ala taqwa min awwali yawmin ahakku an taquma fihi rijalun yuhibbuna an yatatahharu wallahu yuhibbul mutatahhirin. You have said in the Quran, this is Surah Tawbah, ele hu bismillah nath pero, in Surah Tawbah ayat number 108, that you have said that we have built the mosque As-Sasa, the first historical mosque, in which there are men in humankind, not men, who have cleansed themselves. And Allah loves those who purify themselves. So you go in the state of wudu, go to Masjid Quba for a wajib namaz, and say a 2 rakat namaz and this dua, it's sawab of umrah. But listen to the next part of the dua. Allahumma tahhir qulubana. Oh my Lord, clean my heart. Clean my heart for what? Min nifaki wa a'malana min al-riya. Nifaq, munafiqat. Clean my heart from nifaq, and clean my heart from a'malu min riya. Means don't make my actions be for show off, for pride, for arrogance, for name, for fame. Wa furujina min az-zina, and protect my private parts from zina. Wa al-sinata min al-kidb, and protect my chest or my heart from kidb, lies. Wal ghiba, wa a'yununa minal khiyana. You know, the eyes can cause khiyana in very split of a second. You are looking at something without blinking, and immediately you are already judgmental and looking at things which are immense, and you cannot rub them from your eyes. So Allah protect me wa a'yuna min al khiyana fa innaka ta'lamu kha'in al a'yun, because you know what khiyana I do with my eyes. And if you don't help me, wa ma tukhfi sudur, and you know what is in my heart. Rabbana dhalamta anfusana wa in lam taghfir lana wa tarhamna lanakunanna minal khasirin. Oh Allah, if you don't forgive me, then who will forgive me? If you don't forgive me, then I will be amongst those who are in khasara. Very short dua, recited in Masjid al-Quba, 2 rakat salah. So there are a number of things you can do. Okay? Sorry? Surah Tawbah, ayat number 108. So I hope this is, we will repeat again. I don't know if we continue tomorrow, okay, but we keep it on Wednesday. We missed Friday. We keep it on Wednesday. Mohammed Bhai, what do you think? Rizwan Bhai? આપણે ફ્રાઈડેના મિસ કર્યા હતા, બાકી લગભગ ઘણું બધું કવર કરી નાખ્યા છે. તો હવે ફ્રાઈડેનું અમે કોમ્પન્સેટ કરવાના હતા ટ્યુઝડેના, તો જરૂર છે કોમ્પન્સેટ કરવાની કે પછી વેનસડેના જ કરે પાછું? વેનસડેના. So next session will be on Wednesday. We will go again, and in between we will go into some details, and be assured I will be giving you some little gems for you to remember that your journey is not a picnic. Okay? Wabillahi tawfiqi.